It's March 1st, 2025, and I'm hunched in my apartment in Cleveland, Ohio, windows rattling from the wind off Lake Erie. The streetlights flicker outside, buzzing like flies, and my desk's buried under old newspapers, maps, and a recorder that's caught things it shouldn't. I'm Dana Reese, a journalist, or I was until this story sank its teeth into me. Now I'm a wreck, jumping at shadows, because I've dug too deep into something that's been dead, or should be. This is about the Cleveland torso murders, the Mad Butcher, and what I think's still out there, waiting. It's real, it's twisted, and I'm telling you fast because I hear it again tonight. That voice. Let's go back to 1935. Cleveland's a mess. Depression's got everyone broke, factories spitting smoke, the Cuyahoga River stinking like oil and rot. People live in shacks down in Kingsbury Run, a ditch full of trash and hobos. That's where it starts. September 23rd, a kid finds 2 bodies. No heads, no hands, just torsos dumped like garbage. Cops show up, call it a drunk fight gone bad. Then another turns up, same deal. Clean cuts, no blood, like a surgeon did it. By 1938, they've got 12. Men, women, chopped up, scattered around the run, the river, even under bridges. Papers call him the Mad Butcher. No one knows who he is. The killings are weird from the jump. Heads are gone, never found, not in the dirt, nowhere. Cuts are too perfect, like a machine did it, but no tools turn up. Some bodies are drained, dry, as dust, no blood anywhere. Cops chase leads, a doctor, a butcher, some creep named Frank Dolezal who confesses then dies in jail, weirdly hanged with no marks. Nothing sticks. The killings stop in 38 or so they say. The butcher's a ghost. No name, no face, just parts left behind. I stumbled on this last year, digging through archives for a podcast. Found photos. Grainy, grim, torsos stacked like firewood. Read witness reports. Folks in Kingsbury Run hearing a voice at night, low, smooth, saying, "Come here," or "It's time." Cops brushed it off. Bums talking crazy. But it's in the files over and over. One lady, Mary Sokol, swore she saw a man by the river. Tall, no face, just a hole where it should be, whispering her name. She ran, lived. Most didn't. Then there's the shack. In 36, they raided a hobo camp, found a lean-to covered in newspaper, headlines about the murders pinned up like trophies. Inside, a table, stained brown, and a knife, sharp, clean, no rust. No one there, but footprints led out, big, bare, into the mud, then gone. Cops torched the place, called it a win. But the killings kept going after that. Cleveland's changed. Since then, skyscrapers now not just slums, but Kingsbury Run's still a scar, all weeds and rusted tracks. I went there last month, dumb, I know. Air's thick, smells like wet metal and something sour. Found a culvert, half collapsed. Papers stuffed in the cracks, old yellow from the 30s with butcher headlines. My flashlight caught something carved in the concrete. He calls. Heart pounding, I snapped pics, got out. 2 weeks ago, I talked to an old guy, Eddie, who grew up here in the 40s. He said his dad worked the case, a cop who quit after 38. Dad told him the butcher wasn't a man. Said he saw it once by the river, a shape with no eyes, no mouth, just a hum coming out of it. Eddie's dad heard it call his name, felt his legs move toward it like a puppet. He snapped out of it, ran, never went back. Eddie swears the voice still echoes sometimes, late at night, down by the run. Last week I started hearing it. I live downtown, blocks from Kingsbury, but it's there, faint, through the walls. Dana, come here. First night, I thought it was the TV. Second night, my dog freaked, barking at nothing, then hid. Third night, I recorded it. Soft, silky, like it's right behind me. Played it back, and my voice is on there too, saying yes, but I didn't say anything. My hands shook so bad I dropped the recorder. Yesterday, I went back to the run. Sun was down, wind howling, shadows stretching too long. I saw him, by the tracks. Tall, too tall, no face, just a blank stretch of skin, arms hanging loose. It didn't move, but the voice came loud now. Dana, it's time! My feet twitched like they wanted to walk to it. I screamed, ran, tripped in the mud, crawled to my car, looked back, gone, but the air hummed, thick, alive. Tonight, it's worse. I'm locked in, blinds down, but the windows rattle and it's calling. Dana, come here. Over and over, closer. My recorder's picking it up, and something's clawing outside, slow, scraping. I've got files, photos, proof this isn't just some killer. It's old, it's here, it's hungry. The butcher never stopped. He's just waiting, calling, pulling people in. I'm next, I know it, I'm heading out there now to the run. Gotta face it, record it, end it, or it ends me. If I don't come back, this is the story. Something's in Cleveland, not human, not dead. It's March 1st, 2025, and I'm sitting in my car on a back road in western Connecticut, engine off, fog pressing against the windows like it's trying to get in. My name's Casey Flynn, and I was a journalist. Small papers, boring beats, until I tripped over a story that's got me scared stiff. My hands are shaking, my recorder's full of sounds I can't explain, and the woods out there? They're alive tonight, humming with something old. This is about the Leatherman, a guy who walked these hills 100 years ago, and maybe never stopped. It's real, it's freaky, and I'm telling you fast, because I think he's close. Picture this, mid-1800s Connecticut and New York, all farms and forests. A man shows up, nobody knows from where, wrapped in leather, patched together, from scraps heavy as a coat. He's tall, quiet, face hidden under a hood, eyes dark like holes. Folks call him the Leatherman because he won't say his name. He walks, always walking, a big loop, 365 miles, from the Hudson River to the Connecticut hills, every 34 days like clockwork. Stops at farms, takes bread or soup, grunts thanks, moves on. Sleeps in caves, little rock shelters he digs out. Never talks much, just keeps going, people get used to him. Yet, kids wave, farmers leave food. He's weird but harmless, right? For 30 years, he's a ghost on the road, leather creaking, boots crunching, always alone. Then, March 20th, 1889, he's found dead in a cave near Ossining, New York. Mouth full of sores, body stiff, leather rotting off him. They bury him, no name, no story. Papers call it sad, end of a mystery. But it's not the end, not even close. I got hooked last fall, chasing old tales for a feature. Found diaries in a library, farmers writing about the Leatherman, saying he'd stand by their fields at night, staring, not moving. One guy, Amos Pratt, said he heard muttering from the woods after the Leatherman passed. Low, rough, like a prayer in a language he didn't know. Another, a kid in 1870, saw him by a cave and something else. A shadow behind him, bigger, with no face, copying his steps. Kid ran, never told anyone till he was old. Then there's the caves. He had dozens. Shallow holes in cliffs, lined with stones. I went to one last month up near Kent, Connecticut. It's small, damp, smells like wet dirt and something sharp like burnt hair. Found scratches inside, lines, deep like nails dug in. No animals around, just quiet. Too quiet. My phone glitched, screen flickering, and I heard it. A creak like leather bending from the trees. I bolted. Folks around here talk. Old timers say the Leatherman wasn't alone. Something walked with him, something he couldn't shake. In the 1890s, after he died, hikers went missing on his route. 5 in 1 year, gone, no tracks. A woman in 1912 swore she saw him, leather and all, by her barn, whispering her name. She locked herself in, prayed till dawn, and he was gone. Cops laughed, but her dog wouldn't go outside after that. I dug deeper. Found a journal from 1888. A doctor who saw him near the end. Said the Leatherman's eyes were wrong. Cloudy, like he was blind, but he never stumbled. Doctor heard him mutter one word. Follow. Over and over, voice cracking like dry leaves. When they found him dead, his leather was falling apart, but under it, his skin was marked. Lines, circles, carved deep, like a map. Last week I hit the route. 365 miles, woods and hills, quiet little towns. Started in Brewster, New York, where he'd stop. Air's heavy there, buzzing like flies you can't see. I found a cave he used. Rocks stacked, old fire pit cold. Something glinted inside. A button, leather stuck to it, worn but real. Then I heard it. Footsteps, slow, dragging, and a whisper, "Follow." My chest locked up, I ran, didn't look back. 3 nights ago, it got worse. I'm home in Hartford, miles away, but I hear it, creaking, like leather, outside my window. Recorder's on, catches it. Footsteps, then a voice. "Casey, follow, clear as day." I check the tape and there's more. My voice saying yes, but I didn't move, didn't speak. My mirror's got scratches now, thin lines like someone traced them slow. Yesterday, I went back to the Ossining Cave, where he died. Fog's thick, woods dark, ground soft like it's breathing. I see him, leather hanging off, hood up, standing by the cave. He doesn't move, but the whisper hits. "Casey, come, follow." And my legs twitch, like they're not mine. Shadows stretch behind him, too many, shifting, no faces. I yell, stumble back, trip over roots. He's gone when I look up, but the air's humming, pressing on me. Tonight, it's loud, creaking, whispering. "Casey, follow." Right outside. My recorder's rolling, catching it. And something else. A laugh, low, dry. The doors, rattling, fog seeping in, and my feet keep jerking like they want to walk. He's not dead. He's out there. I'm going now, back to the cave. It's March 1st, 2025, and I'm shivering in my truck, parked on a dirt road in Northern California. Snow's falling hard, sticking to the windows, turning everything white and blurry. My name's Alex Harper, and I used to write for papers, chasing boring stories about city councils and lost dogs. Not anymore. Now I'm here in the cold, chasing something bigger, something that's been eating at me since I first heard about the 5 guys who vanished up here. This isn't some campfire tale, it's real, and it's wrong, and I'm gonna tell you everything. Fast, because I don't know how much time I've got left. Let's jump back to February 24th, 1978. 5 friends, Gary Mathias, Jack Madruga, Ted Wire, Bill Sterling, and Warren Beauchamp, all in their 20s and 30s, head out from Yuba City to watch a basketball game in Chico. They're regular guys. Gary's quiet, loves music. Jack's the driver, steady. Ted's big, loud, always laughing. Bill's the planner, Warren's the dreamer. They're tight, like brothers. Game ends, they grab snacks at a gas station, chips, sodas, nothing weird, and start driving, home in Jack's green Mercury Montego. It's a Friday night, cold but clear. They should have been home by midnight. They never made it. Next day, their car's found, way up in the Plumas National Forest, on a snowy mountain road 70 miles from Chico, nowhere near Yuba City. The engine's dead, but there's gas in the tank. Keys are in it, windows up, doors unlocked. Inside, candy wrappers and a map, like they'd been sitting there a while. Footprints lead away into the snow, but not far. They just stop, like the guys vanished mid-step. No coats, no gear, nothing to say why they ditched the car in a blizzard. Cops show up, scratch their heads. These guys aren't hikers. They're town kids, some with mild disabilities, not the type to wander off into the wild. Search teams go out, dogs sniffing, helicopters buzzing, but the snow's too thick, the forest too big. Days pass, then weeks. Nothing. People start whispering. Maybe they got lost, froze, or ran from something. But why drive up there? Why leave a working car? It doesn't add up. Then, June hits. Snow melts. A biker finds a trailer 20 miles. From the car, an old Forest Service shack, windows busted, door hanging open. Inside, it's a nightmare. Ted's there, dead on a cot, wrapped in 8 blankets. His feet are black with frostbite, beard grown wild. He'd been alive for weeks, maybe months, starving. But here's the sick part. The trailer's full of food. Cans of stew, beans, enough for all 5 to live on, unopened. A propane tank sits there, cold, unused. Matches on the table, but no fire lit. Ted just wasted away, surrounded by everything he needed. They keep looking. Bill and Warren turn up nearby, skeletons picked clean by animals scattered in the brush. Jack's found a mile off, face down in the snowmelt, like he fell running. Gary? Gone. No trace. No bones, no clothes, nothing. The coroner says Ted died of hunger and cold, the others exposure, but it's nonsense. Why didn't they eat? Why didn't they huddle up, start a fire? And how'd they get 20 miles through snow with no boots, no plan? I've been digging into this for months, and the more I find, the worse it gets. Locals talk about that forest, Plumas, like it's alive. Back in the 50s, a logger said he heard voices in the wind, begging him to come down. He quit the next day. In 63, a hunter's dog ran off into the trees, howling, and came back with no fur, shaved clean, shaking. And kids in Oroville near Plumas swear the snow talks sometimes, whispering names at night. No one listens, because it sounds crazy, but after 78, people stopped laughing. The night they disappeared, a guy named Joe Sean saw something. He was stuck up there, car broke down, having a heart attack. He told cops he saw headlights, Jack's car, and 5 figures walking with a woman and a baby. Joe yelled for help, but they didn't stop, just kept moving into the dark. Later, he said he heard whistling, high and sharp, coming from the trees. Cops called it delirium, but Joe swore it was real till he died. I got my hands on a ranger's log from 78 buried in some archive. 3 days after the guys vanished, he wrote about noises near the trailer. Low, humming, like a crowd muttering. He checked it out. Nothing there, just snow and silence. But his radio crackled with static and he caught words. Stay with us. He never logged it again, quit that summer. Last week I came up here. The road's still a mess, all ruts and ice. I found the spot where the car was. Tire. Marks faded, but you can feel it, this heaviness, like the air's watching. I hiked to the trailer, or what's left of it. Roofs caved in, walls rotting, but inside I saw scratches on the wood. Deep, frantic, like someone clawed at it. No one's been here in years. My phone died, even with a full battery, and my flashlight dimmed. Then I heard it, whispering, soft, from the trees. Come down, it said over and over like a chant. I bolted. Last night I went deeper. Snow was falling, thick, sticking to my boots. I brought a recorder, caught the wind, and something else. Breathing, ragged, like it was right behind me. I yelled, "Who's there?" And the whispers answered. Names. Gary, Jack, Ted. I tripped, fell, and when I got up, footprints circled me in the snow. Not mine, smaller, bare, like kids. I ran back to my truck, played the tape. It's all there. And at the end, my voice, sobbing, saying, "Don't take me," but I don't remember crying. I'm going back tonight. The snow's heavier now, piling up, and I swear it's louder. Talking, calling their names, calling mine. This isn't just a mystery. Something's out there, in the forest, in the cold. It took those guys, piece by piece, and it's still hungry. If I don't come back, this is the truth. The snow speaks, and it doesn't let go. All right, listen up. It's March 2025, and I'm parked in the middle of nowhere, Kentucky, staring at a windshield that's more cracks than glass. The radio's spitting static like it's alive, and outside, the woods are black, endless, swallowing everything. I'm Riley Carter, used to be a journalist, but now I'm something else. A hunter, a ghost chaser, maybe just a fool chasing shadows. Tonight, I'm telling you a true story. One that's been clawing at me, keeping me up, making my hands shake. It's about the Hensley family and what happened to them in Oak Grove back in '74. You won't find this on the news. It's too weird, too dark. So buckle up, because this is real and it's gonna mess you up. Picture this. November 12, 1974. A farmhouse sits on a hill. Fog so thick it's like breathing soup. Trees all bare and twisted like claws reaching up. That's where the Hensleys lived. John, tough as nails, a farmer. Margaret, quiet, always baking. Linda, 16, dreaming of the city. And Tommy, 9, chasing fireflies like it's his job. Normal people, right? Until they weren't. That morning, their neighbor Earl knocks at 8 a.m. No answer. Lights on, smoke curling up from the chimney, but it's dead quiet. Too quiet. He peeks in, breakfast on the table, eggs steaming, bacon crisp, toast ready, but no one's there. Empty. He calls the sheriff. By noon, cops are everywhere, boots crunching frost. Inside, it's freaky. Clock stopped at 7:13, dishes half washed, Linda's school bag spilling books, Tommy's muddy sneakers by the fire, still wet. And this smell, sour, rotten, like bad apples, but there's no fruit anywhere. They search. No blood, no fight, nothing gone. John's truck's outside, keys in it, chickens clucking, hungry. It's like the Hensleys stepped out and poof, gone. But here's the kicker, in the backyard, footprints, 4 sets in the mud, John's. Boots, Margaret's slippers, Linda's sneakers, Tommy's little tracks, all marching into the woods. 50 feet in, they stop. Just stop. No more prints, no snapped twigs, nothing. Like they got yanked into the sky. Sheriff says maybe they ran off, debts, a breakdown, whatever. But nah, their money's still in the bank, clothes in the closet's food hot on the table. Theories fly, kidnapping, murder, a twister that didn't touch the house. No proof though, they're just gone, and Oak Grove starts feeling it like a weight pressing down. Weeks pass. Search parties hit the woods with dogs, but the dogs whine, freeze at this spot called Whispering Hollow. It's a dip in the land, creepy as hell. Trees all knotted, air so heavy it squeezes you. Kids say they hear voices there, low, messed up. Like a busted radio. No one talks about it, not till the Hensleys vanish. Then there's the tape. Earl, the neighbor, had this old recorder for bird songs. A week later, he plays it. No birds, just whispers. Scratchy, overlapping. Down here, cold, don't look. He swears it's not him, hands it to the sheriff. Sheriff laughs, you wind a prank until they play it and the lights flicker. Room goes cold every time those voices hiss. Cops start dodging the evidence locker after that. I found that tape last month, listened to it in my motel. My breath fogged up like it was freezing inside. Those voices, not human, not all the way. They slur, stretch like something's ripping them apart. I didn't sleep for days. That's when I knew. This isn't just a missing family. Something took them. Something old. Maybe older than these woods. Whispering Hollow's got history. I dug up diaries from the 1800s. A trapper in 1842 hears a chorus of the lost there, begging him to follow. His dogs run in, never come back. 1901, a preacher says the devil's down there, sees shadows with no bodies. 1955, a kid, Billy Ray, vanishes, bike found, tires spinning, footprints leading in, then nada. Oak Grove's been losing people to that hollow forever, and no one asks why. Back to 74, the case dies. Sheriff clams up, Earl moves away, says the farm feels wrong. But people see stuff, shadows too tall to be real, lights in the Hensley house with no power. A hunter, Pete, swears he saw Tommy by a tree, black eyes, no whites, just holes. Pete runs, looks back, kid's gone. I got here 2 weeks ago, Oak Grove's dying, empty houses, folks who won't meet your eyes. I hit the Hensley place. First, it's falling apart. Rotting boards, cracked windows, porch sagging. Smells like wet dirt, and that sour rot. Clock still at 7:13. Tommy's sneakers are there, laces tied perfect, like someone just left them. My flashlight flickers, and I hear it, a whisper right behind me, stay. I ran so fast I nearly puked. Last night I went to the hollow. Dumb, yeah, but I had to. Air's thick, buzzing like invisible flies. Recorders on, catching static and breathing, slow, wet, right by my ear. I follow the old footprints, and where they stop, the ground's soft like it'll eat me. Then the whispers hit, dozens, loud, fast. Help us, Down here. It sees you. I drop my light, stumble out, heart slamming. Back in my car, the recorder's still going. I play it. There's my voice screaming, but I never screamed. Not out loud. I'm going back tonight. Gotta know what took them, what's been taking people forever. If I don't make it, this is it. The truth. Something's in Whispering Hollow, alive, hungry. It's not just a mystery. It's a trap. And I think it's waiting for me. Pause, heavy breathing. If you hear this, don't come looking. It's March 1st, 2025, and I'm parked on a dirt road outside Bennington, Vermont. Engine ticking, windows fogging up fast. My name's Sam Keller, and I was a journalist, chasing deadlines, writing about floods and fairs, until this thing grabbed me. Now I'm here, heart pounding, recorder clutched tight, 'cause the woods out there aren't just woods. There's something else, something that's been waiting since before I was born. This is about the Bennington Triangle, where people vanished, real people, and what I think's still out there, breathing. It's true, it's wrong, and I'm telling you quick because it's awake tonight. Let's rewind to 1945. Bennington's small, quiet streets, big trees, Glastonbury Mountain looming like a shadow. December 1st, Paula Weldon's walking, a college girl, 18. Red coat, blonde hair. She's hiking Long Trail, a path up the mountain. It's cold, snow's light, but she's tough. People see her. Hikers, a guy at a gas station. Then, nothing. She's gone. No screams, no tracks, just empty woods. Cops search, dogs sniff, planes buzz, zip, like she melted into the air. Next, 1946, James Tedford, old guy, 68, riding a bus home from St. Albans. It stops in Bennington, passengers get off. But James? Not there. His bag's on the seat, coat folded, no sign he left. Bus was moving, doors shut, windows up, but he's gone. Witnesses swear he was there, then wasn't. No footprints in the snow outside, nothing. Then 1949, Paul Jepson, 8. Red jacket like Paula's. He's with his mom at their farm near the woods. She turns away, 5 minutes tops, he's missing. Dogs track him to the trail where Paula vanished, then stop, whining, tails down. Hundreds search, hunters, soldiers, nada. No coat, no bones, just silence. Last one, 1950, Frida Langer, 53, camping with her cousin. She slips by a creek, says she'll hike back to camp half a mile. Cousin waits, hours pass, she's gone. They search for months, find her body in May, open field, no cuts, no clues how she got there. Place was searched before. Nothing then, now her. All in the triangle, 5 square miles of trees, rocks, and something nobody talks about. I found this last summer. Old articles, yellowed, creepy. Locals called it the Triangle way before, since the 1800s, people disappearing. A farmer in 1892 wrote about lights in the trees, green, floating, no sound. A hunter in 1910 said the woods went quiet, too quiet. Then he heard breathing, deep, like the ground itself. Indians wouldn't go near Glastonbury, said it was cursed, a place where the wind eats. The vanishings stopped after 50, or did they? I talked to a guy, Tom, 70, lives in Bennington. He was a kid when Paul went missing, says his dad. Saw something that night up by the trail. A shape, tall, thin, moving wrong, like it bent too much. Dad heard it breathe, slow, wet, ran home, locked the doors. Tom swears he's heard it too years later, out his window, breathing, always at night. Last month I went up there, Glastonbury Mountain, Long Trail. Fog's thick, trees twist like fingers, air's heavy, too heavy. Found a rock, big, flat, scratched with lines, old, deep, like a kid dragged a stick. No birds, no wind, just this hum, low, in my chest. My compass spun, north, south, nowhere, then stopped. I heard it, breathing, close behind me. I ran, tripped, lost my hat, didn't stop till the road. 2 weeks ago, I hit the archives. Found a ranger's log, 1947. He wrote about air moving funny near the trail, trees swaying, no breeze. Heard a voice, soft, come up, from the ground, he thought. Quit the next week. A hiker's journal, 1951, said the same. Breathing, lights, feeling watched. Pages stopped mid-sentence. Last week, it started at home. Bennington's 10 miles away. But I hear it. Breathing through the walls, slow, rattling. Recorder's on, catches it, inhale, exhale, then Sam. My name, clear, like it's tasting it. I play it back, my voice answers, here, but I didn't say a word. Lights flicker, windows fog, even with heat on. My dog stares at the door, growling, won't move. Yesterday, I went back. Long trail, dusk, stupid brave. Snow's falling, light sticking to my boots. Trees lean in, branches snapping, nothing's there. I see it, a shape, tall, too thin, arms like twigs, standing still. Fog curls around it, glowing green, faint. It doesn't move, but the breathing's loud, wet, deep, and a whisper. Sam, come up. My legs shake, try to step forward. I scream, fight it, run. Footprints follow me, bare, big in the snow, stop at the road. Tonight, it's here. My car, parked, woods all around. Breathing's loud, through the vents, the seats, everywhere. Recorder's going, catches it, and Sam, come up, over and over. Something taps the roof, slow like fingers. My keys jiggle like they want to turn. The triangle's not a place, it's alive, awake, taking. Paula, James, Paul, Frida, they didn't vanish. It breathed them in. I'm going back now, up the trail. Gotta know, gotta stop it, or it gets me. If I don't make it, this is the truth.